Dun, 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 dun. It is time for another Extra Bases with Bristol and Booth as we are on a semi-regular. No, we're on a regular schedule now, Jeremy.
It's Wednesday night.
It is Wednesday night.
Yeah.
It is Wednesday night. You know, we have started a segment or series called Pump the Brakes, and I actually feel like the Astros pumped the brakes for us, Jeremy.
Is that right? This I got to hear.
Well, the plan, at least maybe earlier in the week, was that Jose Abreu would join the team in maybe Oakland or go right from West Palm Beach to the major leagues. Well, and I wasn't there because I actually work post-game on Wednesday, but it appears now the plan is the Astros will be sending Jose Abreu to Sugar Land to get some at-bats. And I can't say I blame them, but they pumped the brakes. Yeah, there's the sound effect. They pumped the brakes. Do you think it's more of a situation where they're just they're not? I don't know if there's any hard and fast rules with this. I think it depends on how Abreu's feeling, where they think that he can get the at-bats and pitches he needs to see. I would imagine. So I'm not going to blame them for pumping the brakes, but because in my mind, it has to be a fluid situation.
The Astros have to find a time to bring him back. They have to. Because they've said the bat speed's gone, it's not gone, the timing's gone, timing's not gone. That's a hitch. Astros got to bring him back. Jeff Bagwell's been in Florida. We've seen, working with him.
Did you watch the videos? Did you see the videos of him in the Gulf Coast League?
Nothing against.
Not Jeff, but of Jose Abreu in the Gulf Coast League?
No, because, look, he's going down there to face velocity.
Well, he did, and, he actually faced the Nationals, one of the Nationals' top prospects who was coming off arm surgery, Cade, I think it was Cade Cavilli.
Well,
you're like, that's a really great story, Jason.
Fill
me in on more. Actually, don't.
I'm thinking to myself that it's Jose Abreu has to come back up here and contribute, and he has to do a lot because the team has had a decent run without him here, and they haven't played the best opponents in in that time frame. I'm not taking anything away from them. They're still big leaguers. You got to win no matter who you play. But John Singleton's starting to get into a rhythm a little bit. And, when you have everyday at bats, you can get into a rhythm. When you don't have everyday at bats, you can't. And I'm curious to see how you plug him in here and who you just automatically move. Because for Abreu to be in a rhythm and play well, he also has to play every day. Question remains, it's now become a crowded outfield situation a little bit. Tucker obviously ain't going anywhere. You've got Dubon, who's got to play. You got Myers, who for the moment should play. You've got McCormick, who has come back up, right? You've got Loperfido, who has got to be the odd man out at this point, go back to Sugar Land. You've got Singleton, you've got Abreu. You're basically back to the opening day roster, is what you're back to, right? With the pitching getting healthy all at the same time. Constructed right, Abreu can be protected and play well. Constructed right, just plugged into wherever Singleton's at, isn't going to work. And I don't know that it's a platoon situation. I mean, I think Dana said he's got to play when he's here. He's gonna have to step in and play. And he also said John Singleton's our first baseman. So I gotta tell you, and I love Dana, and I saw him the other day, and I just I love him. It feels like flip a coin over there sometimes is what they're doing, because this isn't a fun problem to have. Someone's gonna have to move. Someone's gonna be out of at bats. Diaz is gonna play. Caratini's obviously gonna spell him, and then Diaz is gonna get some DH at bats when that happens. Alvarez should never sniff left field again with the outfield depth they got right now. If Myers is your fourth guy, which I still say is your fourth, I don't care what. I just don't care.
He's on a heater.
That's great. I don't care what it is. If he's your fourth guy, then he's earned the right to be the fourth guy, though, right? And he's going to play. And if Dubon's in center, Myers in center, McCormick's in left, Tucker's in right, Loperfido has no spot here. It doesn't, because McCormick sits if both Dubon and Myers play the outfield, which, by the way, isn't a bad outfield. And then you have Abreu or Alvarez DHing. So we play, there's just there's no at-bats for Loperfido anymore. There just aren't. So all of that to say, it's going to be very interesting to see which way they go with it. If Abreu doesn't come back here and produce, and I mean immediately, this town is going to turn on him and the Astros faster than it turn on me saying Jeff Luhnow didn't do the right thing.
That's pretty fast.
That was quick.
That's really fast.
So I don't envy Jose Abreu coming back here. I really don't, because Singleton's playing okay, but they're rolling a little bit.
I mean, they've won 7 of their last 10 at home.
Yep.
That was the 10-game homestand. They finished 7-3. Joe Espada telling us on Wednesday that I'll take that. I'll take 7 out of 10.
Oh, really, Joe? Thank you.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, he'll take that. He likes he liked the sense of urgency that the team's playing with. However, it's not. What?
Some of this stuff is just, and listen, I'd rather these guys just nod and smile. This is some really, hey, you know what, Jason, thank you for that. I would really take 7 out of 10, 700 winning percentage for me at home. That's great. We were down 14 games under 500, and now we're down to 6. That's play with a sense of urgency. Come on, Joe. It's like saying the bat speed's there and the bat speed's not there. Come on, Joe. Come on. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm on.
Oh, that's why you're in here. It's not.
I'm on one today, Jason, because I look at this and I think to myself, I'd rather you say nothing than give me that.
Well, he's got to say something because we're asking him the question. The question was asked. You must feel better about things given how this team played and finished off. How this team played throughout the homestand. Obviously, losing 2 of 3 to the Angels was not optimal, but overall, 7-3.
Was that your question?
That wasn't my question,
okay.
though. No, I didn't ask any questions today.
Okay. So if I get that question, which is more of a comment, you know what my answer is?
I paraphrased the question. I don't remember.
It's okay.
Do you want me to? We can play it right now.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'll be Joe Espada, and you give me that question.
So, Joe, the way this team has performed at home, do you feel better about where you're sitting and how this team is performing, having won 7 of the 10 games here at home?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Not funny. Not funny.
That's me. I'm
not
sorry,
funny
because it's not answering the question. Now, if you ask me the question directly and I have to give you an answer, my answer is, you know what? We weren't playing well, but now we won 7 out of 10, and it feels pretty good to not lose 7 out of 10. Because then you're saying,
I think that was I think he did say,
but he danced around it talking about sense. They can see that. Be direct with it. And for me, sometimes when I look at a team that still isn't playing to their potential, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's the frustration, right? They're still not doing it right. They're kind of getting through some things here, and they're still not doing it right. And I guess it's frustrating for me to see a team that's a World Series caliber team not do it right and give answers like that. Now, I understand that he's got to give them, okay? And the reason why I threw was Marshawn Lynch in there is because that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like to me. I hear these guys answer questions sometimes, Jason. I'm next to you, and I'm like, this is what he's going to say.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's so scripted. And I understand that some of it has to be, but you're in a situation where you have a World Series team that's about to be back healthy. They're almost back. And this is a good team, and we're still doing it wrong. So for me, I don't want to, that doesn't work for me. I want to hear something that's a little more genuine.
It sounded genuine to me. Like, come on. Do you want me to play the clip?
Let me say it this way. Let me say it this way. I'm not going to tell you who said this because it's irrelevant.
Okay.
But when comparing this year's Astros versus last year's Astros, talking about something you brought up earlier in these other podcast series this year, because again, you said we've been consistent, right? So somewhere in the chain of consistency, we talked about the Dusty effect.
Mm-hmm.
We brought that up, right? We talked about how Dusty was here and Dusty's not here versus Joe, and brand new manager versus veteran. Okay.
Dusty probably would have said, well, it's a lot better than losing 7 out of 10.
My point is exactly that. And what I'm trying to get at is somebody said to me, well, Dusty, 50 years experience, Joe Espada, 50 days. It's a good point. It's a good point. Joe's doing what he's told and doesn't know how to answer versus Dusty doing what he should do. And I guess for me, that's the frustration, by the way. Newsflash. Hey, Houston, the entire league can see it. The entire league knows this. I'm plugged in. I mean, I know. Wait, somebody said that I don't know. Nobody knows me in baseball. I forget when that was. Yikes! But I just yikes. I mean, of all the lazy takes, I'm on one tonight. All the lazy takes that I've had to do. Trust me on this. The league can see it. This is a World Series team. People are going, can we play Houston? Please play Houston because we know what we're going to get night in, night out. That's a problem. Sorry.
So the fact that no, you don't have to apologize for anything. I think you're a little bit off on Joe's response to that question. That's just my opinion.
I could be.
Because I don't know how else he would have answered it. But you think you're feeling it right now? Something was posted last night, and the minute it was posted, I thought to myself, this is a chance to do some research. Steve Gran, Astros PR, posted, including Tucker this season, only 6 Astros have hit 16 homers in the club's first 49 games of a season. Tucker now has 17 because at the time he only had 1 in that game.
I saw that
He
post.
then hit 2.
Yeah.
You saw that post because I probably forwarded it to you.
Exactly why I saw the post, Jason.
So the players, the 6 Astros, are Morgan Ensberg. He had 17 in 2006. George Springer, 17 in 2019. Bagwell, 16. Berkman, 16. Hidalgo, 16. And at the time of the tweet, Tucker had 16. So, Jeremy,
yes,
we were at the ballpark on Monday. And what did you say to me?
So a lot of things too.
You did. That's true.
Okay.
But there's something that we were walking around the hallway and you said Tucker should have about 45 RBI right now.
Right.
And that, when you said that, and I saw this, and thank you, Steve, for doing the research because I didn't have time to do it. But I did have time to then go ahead and look up the RBI totals because you tweeted or posted on X, it's King Solo Tuck?
Yes.
Or Solo King Tuck?
Something like that.
Because every homer is essentially, from perception at least, appears to be, it's Han Solo.
It's Star Wars.
Yeah. Not every homer, but what it feels like is every homer.
By the way, they're all fastballs. Anybody else notice that beside you? All of them.
So I compiled, let's get to that. I compiled the RBI or RBI for each of those players.
In the 49 games.
In the 49 games. Kyle Tucker is at 36.
Whew.
Kyle Tucker's at 36.
17 and 36?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Morgan Ensberg had 17 and 36. Kyle Tucker has 17 and 36. George Springer in 2019 had 17 and 43.
Better.
Jeff Bagwell in 97, 16 homers, 48 runs driven in. Lance Berkman in 2008, 16 homers, 45 runs driven in. And Richard Hidalgo in 2016 homers and 46 runs driven in. So once again, Kyle Tucker, 17 homers, 36 runs driven in.
Now, Morgan, I've known since we were about like birth.
Yeah.
Okay. So where did Morgan hit in that lineup?
I'm glad you asked because guess what? I wrote those down as well.
Okay. What do you got?
Morgan Ensberg, for the most part, I picked up a couple of games. I didn't go through every game. It appears he batted 4th. Now, what's interesting, Lance Berkman was ahead of him.
Oh.
In that lineup.
Getting all the RBIs.
I'm guessing I didn't look up Lance.
Same year for those two guys?
Yes.
Okay.
No. They were different years.
Okay.
They were different years.
Okay.
So Ensberg was 2006. Berkman was 2008.
Makes sense, Morgan.
George Springer actually batted first that year.
Yeah.
and had 43 runs driven in.
Wonder who
Of course, that was a deeper lineup.
way deeper. Yeah.
Jeff Bagwell batted third. Lance Berkman batted fourth. And Richard Hidalgo batted fifth.
What year was that?
Which year?
All
Hidalgo?
three of those guys hit there, 3, 4, 5.
90. Well, these homers, though, are these.
Where are they hitting the lineup? 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, this is where they hit
Got
when they were. This is where they hit in the lineup when they posted those 16 homers or more in the club's first 49 games.
All right, so just to recap.
And Kyle Tucker bats second.
To recap what you said, Morgan and Tucker had the same
Homers and runs driven in.
Okay. Morgan hit behind Berkman.
Yes.
Berkman, when he did it in 2005, was in the mid 40s,
45. And he batted fourth.
Bagwell hit 16 and 48.
Yep. And he was in the third position.
Okay. And Hidalgo hit 16 and 46.
Damn, you're good, man. How do you remember this stuff?
Listen.
And then he batted fifth.
He batted fifth. Yeah. Okay.
In fact, Bagwell and then Springer, which is kind of an outlier, I would imagine.
Sure. George is also, though, if he wasn't in today's lineups, he hits fifth. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because of swing and miss, because he's a 5-hitter.
So does this prove your point?
Well, I mean, yeah, it proves my point. And as far as run production is as a concept. I mean, it kind of goes back to the beginning part of the year when we angered the city of Houston, and I said you angered the city of Houston, and I said, if you want to hit somebody second just to say you hit him second, which, by the way, that guy hasn't sniffed the second spot again, just saying, and lose, fine. If you want somebody else second and see parades, all right. So far, Jeremy Pena has still continued to prove shit second. And Tucker's proven that he benefits from fastballs ahead of Alvarez, who has really struggled in my mind. Not just when you took him out of his rhythm by hitting him second in the first place, and then you've got Tucker ahead of him, who can run and does some things that. But
Jordan had his best numbers, I would imagine, batting second. I don't have them up in front of me.
For this year. Not overall. We talked about changing a guy's preparation with Josh Hader. You start changing a guy's mindset, it's hard to get back in it sometimes. He's getting better, by the way. He's getting better. But it takes a while to get that back. And the rule of thumb is 1 to 3. 1 home run to 3 home run, 3 RBIs. It used to be 1 to 4. But it's 1 to 3 because too many things happen in the game with a strikeout or a fly ball or a line drive. But there's other ways to produce runs besides having hit the ball at the ballpark. So congratulations, whoever's putting Tuck in the 2 spot. You've got 17 and 36. It means you just wasted how many extra base hits or home runs to have him hit second? Good for you.
Well, how many runs driven in you've wasted?
Right. That's
potentially anywhere from 10 to 15. I mean, when we talked about this, you said he should have 45 runs driven in.
That's right.
And I said, 45 or 50. So
you know what a fun stat would be? And that's awesome work because I love the fact when you say things like that and I don't even know the numbers and I'm right and you validate that. What I would like to know is the run differential the Astros have this year. And I say that because if it's 15 runs or 20 runs, and that's a lineup construction issue. That's a lineup construction issue. Were they 7 under? They lost today, right? So they're 20 and 28. Does that sound right? 21 and 28?
Something like that.
So, and they're going to Oakland and then Seattle, correct?
Yes.
If they have a situation where you've got, go ahead.
According to teamrankings.com, they're -7 in run differential.
What does that mean? The minus means they're under.
They've allowed more runs than they've
7 more than they've hit.
They've allowed 7 more than they've hit.
Guys, it's a lineup construction issue. I'm sorry. It is.
Dodgers are +83. The Phillies are +83. The Yankees are +75. The Royals are +67.
Wow. That's a lineup construction issue. If the Astros had the guys in the right spot, they're probably 500 right now. It's not doing it. Somebody in there is trying to make a point. And Joe's doing what he's told, and that's what it is. So, yeah. I'm happy for Tucker having a good offensive year as far as the home runs. What's he at, about 285 now? It's up there. His OPS is obviously way up there too. But, he's a swing and miss velocity guy, and he's got to get the velocity in that spot. And if he's getting it, great. But you have a lot of solo home runs. The other night, I saw somebody say that he was torrid, right? And I looked at the net numbers. He struck out 3 times, hit 2 bombs. Like that's the ultimate true outcome guy. Hit him 5th. Put Payton in the 2 spot. Like, I don't know why it's so difficult. Because you're getting to a place you run out of schedule, and the team's getting ready to come back. I mean, they're back. Health wise, and Javier's still up and down. He's still a little inconsistent.
Fromber's still up and down,
but
Verlander's still up and down.
Yeah, which makes sense.
And we'll see if Urquidy can not be up and down.
What does he do?
He is starting at least one more start in AAA. He'll be pitching Friday in Sugarland.
So him and Abreu will be in Sugarland.
I'm not sure when Abreu would be there. I think the plan is for Abreu to be there, Jose Abreu to be there at some point.
That's this Friday.
Mm-hmm. Probably when this podcast gets posted,
actually. It might be a road trip. I mean, it's not a very long road trip. But
yes, here it is, run differential. The Astros -8. They've scored 230, and they've allowed 238.
Okay, so there you go. There's your games, guys. 8 runs is 2 wins, 3 wins. What's the record again? 22 and 28.
They are 22 and 28, 5 games back.
So that would be 25 and 25. Wow, 500 team. Because you're really 3 games under, right? Except now you have to win 6 to get back to 500. So, but you win those 3 games by having the lineup constructed right. You're 25 and 25 rolling into Oakland. What's that song from Major League? Rolling into Cleveland to the lake.
By the way, it was Cade Cavalli. That's who Jose Abreu had a double off of in his second at bat in, I imagine, it used to be the Gulf Coast League, but I don't even know what they even call it now. Complex FCL, League? I don't even know. Yeah. FCL?
Florida Complex League.
Okay. Did you see the article on Josh Hader and his reasoning? What happened with why he went to this idea of I'm not pitching more than 1 inning?
I heard the story from somebody in the front office.
Okay.
So I didn't see the article. What did the article say?
Basically that went to arbitration, and arbitration said, the Brewers knew how dominant he was.
Yeah.
But when it came to arbitration time, they pointed to what? Saves. And because he didn't have many saves, he got not what he should have, or what he probably deserved. And then it was I give Josh Hader credit for standing up and saying, this is what we're going to do, and taking care of himself. I'm all for player empowerment. I think for years and years and years, players were taken advantage of. I wouldn't say that's the case now, but I don't have a problem with that. I think it was probably it was a risk that he was willing to take, and anyone who's willing to take risks, I applaud. But it was also mentioned in the article, Buster Olney, I think, that when it came time for free agency this year, the phone wasn't exactly ringing off the hook
because of the stuff in San Diego, because that stuff got out there. Remember we talked about it, I said that's the first time that's public.
Yeah.
Right. That's absolutely correct, by the way. Buster's reporting is correct. Another national writer, nothing against you, Buster, that we scooped. But we put that out here first on one of these extra bases podcasts.
It was a scoop?
We said it. And
that was a scoop?
Well, it was a scoop as far as the national media is concerned.
Really?
It out there.
I didn't know that.
Well,
I would have promoted it as a scoop.
Well, we said it first compared to what Olney said. So if somebody else got it ahead of that, that's fine. What I can say is I went on X and I said some context. Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened is exactly that. The Brewers said, you're better in 1 inning. And he said, fine, pick one. And they said, well, you don't have enough saves. They held it against me. Said, I ain't throwing anything but the 9th. But it changes his thinking. It changes trajectory, right? But, in MLB, the players are the show. And
in MLB, the players are the show?
That's what it is. In MLB, the players are the show. And they got to get theirs when they're the talent. It's their performance. That's what people are going to see, right? I mean, that's what they got to get theirs. So I don't mind Josh doing that. I'm glad he's opening up and getting to the 2 innings again, because when he does that, he's going to have more. Even me, I'm coming back around to him because he's taking the ball. Right.
All right. Astros head to Seattle after Oakland. They need at least a split.
Yeah.
Can't have less than a split.
No. And Oakland, 3 in Oakland, 4 in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And they go somewhere after that or back home.
Man, you're getting too far ahead of me, Jeremy.
I'm looking at us rocketing towards an All-Star break here. We're 30 games away from an All-Star break.
Oof. That's crazy.
Maybe 40, maybe 40. July, 12th-ish, as always. So you're 50 games away. That's way too many.
Back home against the Twins.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
back home against the Twins, and then the Cardinals are here.
Yikes.
Little Mason Wynn action.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, man, that guy's a highlight reel night after night.
He's fun to watch. He's definitely showing he belongs in the big leagues. Give him that. Cardinals did a good job. I wonder if Tank Hentz will be in the big leagues by then. Love to see him.
Boy, that would just be another feather in the cap for the disgruntled scout whom no one in baseball wants to hire, because Kyron Paris, an alum of the New Balance Future Stars Series program, hit his first major league homer on Wednesday, and I was told he did get the baseball.
Good.
And you saw him Monday.
I did, KP.
And have you counted how many alums now have reached the big leagues?
I saw Tyler Soderstrom with Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
He was here, and then him in Paris right after that.
Now it's like one every week. They just keep coming in.
It's pretty good for a 7-year deal since you're 8.
Mm.
It's almost like these guys had their own baseball cards or likenesses that said Future Star Series on them somewhere. That'd be kind of cool.
Mm. All right. On that note, as we're approaching now the 27-minute mark, 28-minute mark, if this was soccer, that's going to do it. One of these nights, we're going to have you read some of the tweets about you.
Me?
Yep. Almost like mean tweets. That was actually requested by someone in the building here.
Are you serious?
Yes. We should have them read some of the comments.
Because I don't pay attention to them. Right?
Yeah. So anyways, that's going to do it for Extra Bases. For Jeremy, I'm Jason. Till next time, everybody, send in your comments and concerns, and we'll do that next time.